I've noticed that there's a growing trend over the last couple of years perhaps for people now not only to approach you when you're out for a walk just to pass the time of day for a couple of minutes, but a lot of people now seem to be engaging you in conversations that kind of go on so long they get a little bit awkward and a little bit difficult to extricate yourself from. Now there's a Jehovah's Witness bod that I've come across a couple of times. He keeps forgetting that he's accosted me, so he keeps accosting me again. And he's a very nice bloke with a nice rictus grin and kind of weird eyes, but he's lovely and he's a nice man. But he won't take wow for an answer. And he's persistent. And he goes on, and I've seen him ambushing other people as well. And it gets very awkward because he doesn't seem to be aware at all of how awkward this is. And not only is it awkward just anywhere where there's people, but most of the time he seems to accost you on a quiet, lonely, dark country lane. You know what I mean? Now, it's not only him. There seems to be a lot of people nowadays who just seem to want to engage you in conversation that goes on and on. It's happening to me more and more, and I'm a nice man and I'll chat to people whether I want to or whether I don't, but this just goes beyond the weather and the state of English strawberries. And when you try to get yourself out of these conversations, they just go deeper and deeper, and people seem... I was talking to a bloke yesterday, or a bloke was talking to me I should say, and it just went on, and I could tell that as I tried to politely take myself out of the situation, I could see his mind, I could see the cogs going over, and I could see that he was reaching for just anything, any little conversation starter. And what is it about that? Why are people so desperate for interaction? Is it because the world is heading towards less interaction? Is this the way that technology is pushing us, where we can now live in our own little isolated bubbles, but because of social media and the advances in technology, we can also interact with people, real or virtual, who will massage our egos and have conversations with us from a distance? And the frightening thing is, you can also have AI conversations with AI friends. Well, that means we're all going to be sitting in a bubble talking to nobody. It's like, when you talk about dystopia, this goes way beyond them, doesn't it? And if this is how it's going, then this is going to adversely affect the people in society who aren't as up with technology as many people. Old people. And when old people aren't around anymore, will living alone in our AI-generated social media bubbles become the norm? I think it jolly well might, and I do think that big corpo and the government and society and the globalists, and I'm getting into some kind of conspiracy theories here, but I feel that without some kind of pushback, this is going to be how it's going to be. We don't really need shops anymore, do we? Because we can order everything we want, from food to white goods, online. We can get most things online nowadays, everything. We can buy a car online. We can get medical diagnosis online. We can book our holidays online, book a holiday online and go abroad and spend your holiday in a pod by yourself, away from the world, in a virtual reality created within your own little bubble. It's bloody scary, isn't it? Will kids be educated remotely, because that's already starting. It's already been mooted that, that teachers should be able to work from home. At the moment, I think they're only talking about marking homework, but during the pandemic, teachers were trying to work from home and teach from home. I don't know how successful or unsuccessful that was, but I think that once you get that going, I think that will become the norm, because when you get little exceptions, it's always the thin end of that inevitable wedge, isn't it? So kids are going to be taught remotely. Kids aren't going to be reacting. Kids don't go out on the street at night anyway, on the bikes and just messing about and playing football, jumpers for goalposts and all that nonsense. It just doesn't happen anymore. They come home, they interact with their friends through a screen, and they sit and watch Netflix or whatever they watch and play games. They don't interact. There's organisations like the Scouts, things like that get young people together. I don't know, they don't seem to be flourishing like they used to. So are they heading for an inevitable doom? Sound like I'm painting a grim picture here, but actually, perhaps I am. And perhaps we need to pull our socks up and fight back. Because most of this way of life that's being pushed, it's got to be done for a reason, hasn't it? It's not just random. It's got to be to someone's benefit. There must be someone sitting somewhere orchestrating all this for us proles to just go along with it to fit their narrative. Where am I going now? I just started chatting this morning. I've started going down this weird rabbit hole. I've lost Molly. Come on, Molly, she's really slow this morning. Mind you, the path we're on has got a very, very slight gradient going up. And me, with my heart condition, I can actually feel it. I get out of breath very, very quickly. But we've got a long, beautiful pathway up now through, like, here she is, here's my little girl. Now she's going down the wrong way. She's now got a big wall to jump. Hey, there she goes. She steeple chased a little barrier there, and then we've got this path that goes up, and it's beautiful, and it goes between these lines of trees with a dry stone wall on the left hand side. It's cloaked with brown leaves on the floor, and it's all very, very beautiful, and it's very relaxing. And when you come out early in the morning like this, it's a great way to start the day. And like I always say, if you can make that extra 10 minutes, quarter of an hour in the morning to do something like this, this is what sets you up for the day. This is what sets your mind up for the day. Just looking round, clouds in the sky, bit of blue over there, coming through. It's going to be a grand day. Let's carry on doing conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories? Got my teeth in upside down. Who's going to pick up the slack when all the driverless cars start shunting into each other and Domino's decides to deliver a bottle of Domestos when you wanted a thin crust pizza with extra pepperoni? Who's going to wipe your granddad's bum when all the wards are being run by robots and all the nurses are in the corridor practicing TikTok dances? It's funny getting old, isn't it? Because you don't drive this technology, you don't help develop this technology, and for the most part, you won't be using this technology anyway. I mention it to my mum and she just says, well, I don't know what you're worried about because you won't be here anyway. Which is true, but it will be nice to look down and see how well Taylor Swift is coping performing concerts through a pair of Google smart sunglasses. Just a thought. Sleep well. See you on the flip. Peace and love.